Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Gibraltar Investment Group Stock Market Weekly Wrap-Up for December 1st, 2024. I am your host, Dr. BJ Love, and I'll be bringing you this week's update. Here at Gibraltar, we use time-tested methods and indicators that helps us to navigate these markets with clarity, confidence, and calmness. The Dow Jones, the S&P 500, both closed November at record highs. Major averages rolled into December on a 2-week win streak. Several of the different indexes were able to set new record highs during the short holiday period as the major averages closed higher for a second straight week. Stocks sprinting out of the gate at the beginning of the period on Monday and stalled into the Thanksgiving holiday, stalled ahead of the Thanksgiving holiday. Equities were able to bounce back on light trading to close out the week with the Dow Jones Industrial and the S&P 500 at all-time highs. Crude oil dropped as Israel and Hezbollah agreed to a ceasefire, but investors remain in a festive mood on Friday, sending the major averages into December, on a very high note. Now, for the period, the Dow Jones Industrial tacked on 614 points and settled at 44,911. The S&P 500 added 63 points and closed at 6,032. The NASDAQ gained 215 points, finishing at 19,218, while the small cap Russell 2000 picked up 28 points and settled at 2,435. The VIX fell 0.39 and closed at 13.51. And as we reiterate each time we appear on this broadcast, as long as that VIX stays below that threshold of 20, the markets tend to grind higher. And that's what we have been noticing over the past year. Crude oil prices eased at 15 cents and closed at $68.55 a barrel. Gold prices added $19.90 and finished at $2,685 an ounce. Silver added 60 cents and closed at $30 and 85 cents an ounce, while Bitcoin closed the session at 97,200. Now, the outlook or the technical condition of the market remains positive, with major averages higher for a second straight week. The underlying market or the market breadth, which is the heartbeat of the market, has improved. So with that, let's get right into these charts. And as you can see, we usually start here with our 4 grid, where we have our long-term view of the S&P 500, the Dow Jones Industrial Average, the NASDAQ Composite, and we have here Bitcoin, but that should be, and we're going to look at Bitcoin later, but that should be the Russell 2000. So we want to go ahead and add that into our mix here. A moment, please. What is the Russell 2000? Bring it here. Russell. RUS. Bear with me here a moment. Let me get my chart here together. Misstated it there. Russell 2000. RU. Bingo. And there we are. Or better yet, we're going to use the first 3 indices, and we're going to continue with, I wanted to look at Bitcoin on the big screen as well. So let's analyze Bitcoin since it has been advancing. Did reach 100,000 and has backed off since. So we'll use that as a market matrix as well. So Go back to BTC. Bingo. BTC. Bingo. All right. So we're going to start off with our S&P 500. We're going to look at it quickly, see our long term. As you know, if you've been with us for a while, whenever we have a green background, this is a proprietary um, technical outlook that we use here at Gibraltar to give us a sense of the long-term trend of the general market. And as you can see, since 410 or April of 2023, we have been in a bull market. Yes, we have had ups and downs. However, if you understand our philosophy, whenever the price remains above a rising moving average, especially if it's our 40-week moving average, which is equal to the 200-day moving average, this moving average has been moving up, 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 and you can see as price points each week have touched this moving average and bounced off of that moving average and continued to move up, hitting an all-time high this month. That is your S&P 500. Let's move on to the Dow Jones Industrial, and you can see a similar pattern. We have a green background, which shows that we are bullish and that there is a long-term continuation with this particular posture. It has proven itself since November of last year, 2023. And as you can see, similar to the S&P 500, it has each one of these candles here represent a week. And you had 1 or 2 weeks of downturn and it pops back up. You have 1 or 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks of downturn and it pops back up. And see, the philosophy is that all of this is happening. The price is above the rising moving average. So that's why we have clarity, confidence, and certainty when we are navigating this market. When we are in this configuration, we have a green background. Our proprietary software lets us know that we are still in a long-term bullish posture. And as you can see, it again, it has proven itself over the last year that this is accurate. Now, moving on to the NASDAQ composite or the heavy tech NASDAQ, same philosophy holds true since April of 2023, nearly a year and a half. We've had this green background, even though we've had weeks and weeks of down movement. You can see that our gray line here, which is our 40-week moving average, that gives us our long-term trend, and it is equivalent to the 200-day moving average that most professional investors use as a threshold or a gauge. When it's rising and the price is above it, you hold on. And that's what we have been doing, even though we had some ups and downs. And that is the volatility sometimes that we experience in the market. However, it lets us know that as long as this background is green, price is above a rising moving average, we hold on. All right, moving on now. We're going to look at Bitcoin. Now, Bitcoin has been in a bull market for a while. However, for the past year or so, since 1224, it's just been trending. There has really been no real movement up until our secondary indicator, our MACD long-term, crossed over into the positive. And since then, it has moved from where it touched this rising moving average. You can see it's still slightly moving up. The price touched the rising moving average there on 10/7 of 24, and it closed at that particular time at 70,000 and has since run way above 100,000. The high was 111,000, I believe, and now it has settled again, as we saw in the introduction, in the $2,000 range. And we're going to look at a way to invest in Bitcoin that is going to pay us a hefty dividend. Now, with the general market, what is our takeaway? We are in a bullish posture. The market is continuing to go up, up, up at this moment. It could change at any time, but at this moment, our long-term posture is bullish. Now let's move on into the holdings that we actually have. And that's going to be in our grid here, and we can move here. So this is what I look at every day. I use this as my general market consensus. I look at natural gas. It is in a bearish posture. How do we know? Because the price is below a falling moving average. How we know the moving average is falling? The one that we follow, it is red. So when it is red and the price is below it, that is basically a bearish scenario, and we don't want to invest in a bearish scenario. We move on down to silver. Silver has been moving up but for the past 3 weeks it's been moving down, down, down. It is still in a bearish posture because a bullish posture because it is above a rising moving average, even though it's falling. But we have some of our leading indicators, especially the Fisher Transform, that's saying that it has reached the top, and we should be looking toward more downside in this particular space. We're looking at gold. Gold has been doing well. We have a 1 week of downturn, but we do have our canary in the, and we call it the canary in the mine, our leading indicator, our long-term indicator, saying that gold could see further digressing over the coming weeks. We look at the Qs, which is the NASDAQ 100, and we can see that it's been holding up pretty well. We look at the, as we look at the NASDAQ on the long-term chart, we can see that for the past 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, it's just been moving on and on and on, upward and onward with the NASDAQ. The Dow Jones Industrial Average doing the same thing. The Russell 2000 here, we can see right now that Russell 2000 has been moving up, and it has reached an all-time high with very good relative strength. And we move on down to, I like to look at the dollar. The dollar is moving up, and that is indicative of when the dollar moves up, precious metals move down. They move in opposite direction. So that kind of lets me know, look out for the precious metals, gold and silver, to experience more downturn in the near future. S&P 500 up, 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 and looking at AT&T, one of the holdings that we have, is just moving up, up, up. We like to see that. What else do we have that's moving up and up and up? We got ET. ET phone home. What better pattern than you can't ask for a better pattern. It pays us a very good 8% dividend. We look at AIO. This is our artificial intelligence and technology play. It is now reached an all-time high as well. Oh my God, how do we find these things? We have time-tested methods and indicators that helps us to navigate these markets with clarity, confidence, and certainty. And our artificial intelligence stock is doing well. What are we looking at next? We have SLRC. SLRC, come on with it. Come on, SLRC. This is our financial play. It broke out here in November 4th, and it's starting to move up, 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 and that's what we like. It had not reached the all-time. I think it did. It reached an all-time high, and this one pays us an 11% dividend. Next, what we have, our old favorite QYLD. This is our technology play. It pays us a 12% dividend. It is kind of, consolidating at the moment. However, we are still in good shape. Looking at a Bitcoin play, we're going to look at that. And what we like in the Bitcoin space is BTF. BTF taking off just like Bitcoin. It's only $24. It's up to an all-time high of $24, and it pays us a 10% dividend. So there you have it. Every day and every way, we get better and better. Every day and every way, we grow more prosperous, successful, and victorious. And God's love continues to surround us and fold us in the wraps, and we go forth in peace and prosperity.